Hey guys, Alex here from Workshop 12. And today, allow me to introduce the most beautiful Tesla-style display for your Jeep Cherokee. This unit fits models from 2014 to 2020, and as all of our units, it comes equipped with some hefty specs. 13.6-inch IPS panel display, 6 gigs of RAM, 128 gigs of storage, and wireless CarPlay, wireless Android Auto, and every single app that you can imagine. Today's video, we're gonna go through an unboxing, explaining to you what all these wires are, where they connect on the back of our unit, and we're gonna follow through with installation. Let's not waste any more time and jump right in. So, what's in the box? Starting off with the main stereo harness, okay? You obviously have the main plug here that's gonna be connecting to the factory harness from your vehicle. And then you have a bunch of RCAs, guys, but I don't want you to overwhelm about all these RCAs because to be quite frank with you, it's not that complicated. The only thing you want to pay attention to on here is going to be this little brown wire that is labeled as back. And this brown wire is gonna be what will connect to this other brown wire labeled as brake. So you'll just connect these, put a little bit of electrical tape, and then you're done. What this brown wire is gonna do is it's gonna trigger your reverse camera when you put your car into reverse. And then speaking of this wire, this RCA is gonna be the one that you're gonna connect one of these yellow RCAs that come out from this plug. So if we grab these RCAs here, we can see that we have here 3 yellow RCAs. So what you're gonna do is just, after you install everything, you're gonna plug it in, put in reverse, see if it works. If it doesn't work, try the other one. If it doesn't work, try the other one. And then you will find one that will work. 3.5mm headphone jack is to retain the factory OEM microphone, which will then connect to the mic port on the female RCAs. And then this white connector is gonna connect to the back of our unit. This is gonna power our unit. We'll take it a step at a time. But yeah, this is the main stereo harness. This here is to retain the factory USB port. You're gonna notice that our unit has 3 USB ports. You're gonna connect it to one of them. We recommend to connect it to the single one, as then you can fish this to somewhere in your vehicle so you can have access to 2 additional USB ports. And then this here is depending on the variation of your vehicle. You might need to connect these to the corresponding RCAs, but most of you guys will not need this cable. If you do need this cable, you're gonna grab this main stereo harness and you're gonna detach this hardwired speaker wires and switch it to an RCA connection, just like that. But again, most of you won't need that. You also get provided packing tools, okay? Clips that we're gonna transfer onto our unit. These are your RCA ports, female ports, so you have sub out. So if you want to connect this aftermarket subwoofer, you'll be able to connect this right on here. If you wanted to connect other cameras, you'll be able to connect more cameras than just your original one. Or if you wanted to get like a RCA to HDMI video in and then be able to connect your PlayStation and run some Fortnite or whatnot, you'll be able to do that. And then the rest of the RCAs are going to be some inputs and outputs. And then you have amp turn-on wire if you want to use it for aftermarket amps. You also have a SIM card here for 4G LTE data that you'll be able to use. You have an external microphone in case your factory mic doesn't work. You have a LTE antenna, which we're going to be using to connect. And then you have an aftermarket GPS antenna, but in this particular vehicle, we're not going to use this because in the box, you also get this little tiny adapter that retains the factory GPS, which of course, because it's mounted on the roof, you will get better reception. And then this one here is where you're gonna connect the factory camera, and then you're gonna connect this brown wire to the other brown wire so it can trigger when you put it in reverse. And then lastly, we have the FM AM antenna. We're gonna plug everything in at the back of the unit. I'll show you how everything goes, and we'll go in the car and do the installation. So we're gonna start off with the RCAs. So this white plug is gonna connect right over here on this big white plug here. And you wanna make sure that these are all pushed in properly so it can be nice and secured. Then we have where your original camera is gonna connect to, right over here. Retaining the original GPS antenna, we're gonna remove this, connect this right in here. FM AM antenna, USB ports, the one with the dual USB port. It's a 6-prong, so that's going to connect to the 6-prong place here. Then we have the other USB port, which will be to retain the factory USB. So we'll connect this extension right in here. So then this is going to connect to the vehicle, and then this is going to connect to our unit right next to the other one. Then you have the main stereo harness. So on the main stereo harness, we're going to connect this little one here. That one was a little bit tricky to push in, but we got it in. And then your CAN connector is going to connect on the back of our unit right over here. We have mic, OEM mic is going to connect where the mic port is. Boom. Just like that. Then we have the LTE antenna, which is going to connect right here. So we'll just pop this off and slide this right in here and screw it in. Aux L in to aux in L. Then aux R in to aux in R, like that. Then we have the camera wire. I'm going to just connect this for this purpose, and then we'll test it when we get in the car. And then the main power, of course, will connect right over here. So just to summarize, we have the plug from the main harness on this corner here, the USB ports right in the middle, the original camera wire right over here, the RCA's outs are going to be right in here. Then we have also the main power, the radio, GPS, LTE, CAN at the very bottom here. And then now we're going to just connect these two brown wires together. So we'll just strip it a little more and connect it and put a little bit of electrical tape. There you guys have it. I know this is probably a big mess and doesn't look very nice on camera, but I hope that helped you know where every wire goes. Guys, the first thing we're going to want to do is grab the packing tool, and we're going to be removing the climate piece here. So the way we do it is essentially just stick it in here and start just working it a little bit here by popping out this panel here. Okay, and then now we're going to just disconnect this plug right here. There's a little release lever here on the left side closer to the driver. You squeeze down and press down, and now that's removed. The next thing is going to be grabbing Phillips, 2 Phillips screws right over here, where we're going to then remove that so we can take this trim out. And then now we're just going to gently pop off the actual frame here. So we'll just squeeze our fingers in here. And then there's another plug. The little lever to release it is going to be on the left side closer to the driver. You press it and release it, and then we will get back to this as we will transfer the fans over. If you noticed, I didn't really like to use any prying tools to remove this frame, because this is like a pleather, and if you start squeezing in here, you can crease or damage this. So I like to use my fingers and just give it some tough love. We then now have 4 other screws that we need to remove. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And now you have a bunch of cables. So to remove these at the top, there's a little releasing tab on each one. So we're gonna just press it down and pull out, press down and repeat. And then this gray one is the one that will retain the factory USB plug. So we're gonna press, there's a little release tab at the bottom here. So we'll just press and release. And now this big main harness plug, there's, all you need to do is just push on the side here, and then it's gonna release this little tab where you're now gonna be able to grab this lever and kind of swipe up, and then it just comes right out. And then that's it. we have all of the plugs right here that we're gonna need. Now we're gonna transfer the hazard buttons onto our unit, and we're gonna also transfer the fans. So let's go ahead and put the unit to the side so we have a little bit of an area to work with. So to remove these fans, pretty easy. What we're gonna do is there are little tabs on each side that hold onto these little tabs on the fan. So you just have to take your time and open, like with your finger, you're gonna just grab the tab here. Not even sure if I'm looking correctly, but you're just gonna open it and then bring it up a bit and just work it. Obviously it's gonna be so much harder to show you when I'm not even looking, so let me just do it here, but you'll maybe start on the side, on the outer side instead of the inside. And then you're just gonna remove 1, 2, well this one came out even easier. But yeah, just like that, as long as we don't break these, because that's gonna suck. So we're gonna grab a T15 bit, and we're just going to unscrew these. These are the screws we removed. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then now this thing should just slide out. Well, there's a nasty, this is like disgusting. I don't know what the heck this glue thing is, but you know, if anybody knows what this glue thing is, please educate me. Because I find it that almost every Dodge Ram and Dodge vehicle I've worked on seem to have this disgusting sticky. Look at this. Oh, I should capture this in slow motion. Anyways, all right, back to it. Okay, now we're gonna grab the beautiful unit, and oh my God, this thing's gonna leave stickiness all over our unit. We're gonna have to clean it up after. Oh God, I'm trying to turn this around. Okay. I'm gonna grab the unit, we're gonna put this right in here, and we're gonna reuse the 4 screws, line them right up. I had to switch tools because the one I was just using essentially made the bit a complete circle, because that wasn't a good, anyways. Yeah. All right, guys, so we did just get the hazard button relocated here, so now it looks nice and beautiful, okay? And then now what we need to do is we need to transfer, use the clips that are provided to secure the unit. So we're just gonna, okay? And then now we're gonna transfer the fans. For the fans, guys, you wanna just literally just align them perfectly. Make sure that everything is aligned absolutely amazing, especially this little tiny circle. You wanna make sure it's aligned to this little part here. Once you know and confirmed and triple check that all of it is all aligned, then all you need to do is give a nice little gentle push on each corner, and the clips are gonna just slide right in. Boom, boom, boom. And they're so sturdy, you can hold it from here. I'm just joking, don't hold it from there, but it is sturdy. And now we have all of the fans nicely done. All right, now we're gonna go to the car. We're gonna finish off the install. All right, guys, so now that we have officially mounted the fans, the hazard button, as well as made all the connections at the back of the unit, it's time to connect everything. Before we start connecting everything, I did want to make a couple of notes. Number one, this white one with the little red tab is going to be your FM AM antenna. This one right here that is a lighter color than this one, I will call this one a pink one, is going to be your original GPS antenna. So you'll be connecting it to the little extension cord, the little GPS one here. And then the USBs, unfortunately, we couldn't fish it through the glove box on this model because the glove box is wonky. And I'm a type of guy that doesn't like making any holes or drilling any holes on the plastic. I like to try to keep it as OEM as possible. So what I did is I ran the USBs and put them right here behind this little panel here. They're sticking out right here on the side, as well as the SIM card tray is going to be coming out from that side as well. And The only thing is you want to make sure that you put the wires for the USB and the SIM card through the top piece here and not the bottom. I know it makes easy sense to try to do it from the bottom here, but when you're going to connect everything back and push everything in, you're going to have cables that are putting pressure on here, and then that's not going to work out very nicely. Also, the hazard wire, we're going to want to put it at the bottom here, as it's now been relocated to the bottom instead of it being up here. So at the bottom here, you have your main plug, and then you also have your hazard plug. Those are the only two plugs at the bottom that we're going to have, and then your main plug, and then this is the gray plug that will retain the factory USB. So let's go ahead and start making all the connections to the unit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to first connect this. You want to move this lever all the way to the as much as it can, and then you're going to just slide this right in here, and you're going to notice, without me touching this lever, you'll notice that this is going to like jump a bit. Boom, it jumped, and then now you can just secure it. That beeping happens whenever you disconnect and connect on this vehicle, the harness, so don't need to worry about that. We're then going to connect the OEM plug for your USBs. Boom, and then we'll connect this to the back before we forget. And then the LTE antenna, I'm going to just remove the adhesive, and I'm going to stick it on the very top here. Okay, and now we'll bring the unit a little closer, and I'm going to connect the USB port. Boom, the original GPS, and then the radio antenna. Now I'm going to grab all these wires, and I'm going to just gently stick them in here. And now we're going to connect. By the way, the main power for the unit, there is a plug at the bottom of our unit that's going to connect. I forgot to kind of show you guys, but yeah. And then the line up the fans, and now we should just be able to gently push everything. There you guys have it, the beautiful Workshop 12 Tesla style screen, 13.6 inch IPS panel display for your 2014 to 2020 Jeep Cherokee. This unit is absolutely stunning. You guys came along with me to see a full unboxing, what all the wires are, where they connect at the back of the unit, and how to do the install. If you guys have questions, concerns, smart remarks, send us an email, drop comments below, give us a call, send a pigeon. I don't care. Whatever it is that you need, just get a hold of us, because we're always here to help. When you buy a product from Workshop 12 directly by us, you get me unlimited amount of video calls where you and I can sit there and I can walk you through this whole thing, giving you guys a headache-free experience. That's it for now. I hope you guys enjoyed, and stay tuned for more. Peace.